Google added a report button to business owner responses. Up until now, users could report reviews on Google, but this recent development allows users to report the actual response from a business. Now, there are 5 categories for reporting responses. They can either be off topic, contain profanity, bullying or harassment, discrimination or hate speech, and contains like personal information about the person. If you have hundreds of locations where the general manager or the franchisee is replying in their own voice, have hundreds of liabilities. Basically, there's a lot of opportunities for that owner's like personal voice to create a real problem. And then if your response gets flagged, the entire review is still there. So your response is all that gets pulled down. So you might wind up with a lot more unanswered negative reviews, which also causes a real big problem for brands.
This is a long time coming. I think the same way that we want to hear from people, leaving a review. And I think we want to hear from the owners just as much. And I think the owners aren't always right. Like to your point, I don't think that just because they own the hair salon or they own the car dealership or, the shop or the service, I don't think that means they're automatically, their voice is the one that needs to be heard over everybody else's. So I do think this is a great update. I think it's been a long time coming. It's nice. I think this also goes hand in hand with some things I'm seeing on social media, like on TikTok and Instagram, where people have a bad experience and they're now bringing that to those channels. I saw one on TikTok yesterday about a girl who had a bad experience at a hair salon. And it was, where's the owner's response? Where's the owner's response? Everybody wants to see the video of the owner's response. And then a step further, they want to then analyze, do we agree with the owner's response? So I think this has almost taken that same logic and putting it on Google. We want to see the owner's response. And then do we agree with it? Is it, off topic, or is it even bullying or harassment? So I'm not surprised to see this. I think it makes a lot of sense with the way that people are now, the discourse around reviews and experiences.
And I think this is especially scary for franchise brands. I think it's always been a concern for franchise brands, right? Making sure that the responses are compliant with what the brand would expect from like a guardrails and a guidelines standpoint. Managers and owners of businesses are passionate about the businesses that they own. And I think it's easy in some situations to get defensive. But I think a lot of times the owners of those businesses might not realize the longer term implications and like the real big problems that footprint can leave and that the effect of this can have if you're not responding in really like the PR approved proper way to review responses. And now the audience essentially gets to be the judge of if your response was acceptable or not, or if it contained something that was offensive or harmful. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much of this gets flagged kind of at scale. I know on our end, seeing a lot of the data in bulk and managing all these multi-location brands, I'll be very interested to see if we start getting reporting on like how many review responses were taken down or, flagged and you'd resubmit it.
Right. Like what's the difference between, or what's the category, or how many are flagged versus actually taken down too? That's also interesting.
100%.